What's up YouTube? My name is Sam and I'd like to personally welcome you to the very first installment of my new series, Sam's Sneaker Stories.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
But that's only part of the story.
This fellow's good.
A man who needs no introduction.
I give you...
So instead of just reviewing the shoe at its surface, I like to add a little bit of meaning by actually telling a story with each shoe. So the first one is how I bought this same shoe 3 times. Yes, you heard that right, 3 times. Of course, I'm talking about the Air Jordan 11 Concord. So our story begins a few years ago in 2014 at Soulfest. If you guys don't know what Soulfest is, it's a sneaker convention just much like SneakerCon or any of those kind of shoe conventions where people come and buy, trade, and sell their shoes. At these kind of events, you can be either general admission, which costed around like $15 I think, and you just go in as a normal person, buy, sell, trade shoes, whatever. And you can also be a vendor, which meant that it was costed around like $40 to $50 to rent a whole table, and you were a vendor, meaning that you really couldn't leave the actual spot, but you could, sell shoes off the table. I actually had a friend come to me and ask, hey Sam, if you would like, me and my other friend are actually going to buy a vendor table, and he asked me if I wanted to be the third person to help split the cost. Honestly, it was going to be around like $15 anyways for each person, so I said, why not? Actually, I had the original card, I guess admission kind of VIP card from Soulfest. This was actually held in Orlando. As you can see, it says vendor, March 15th of 2014. So yeah, a long time ago. This is actually kind of old. It's got dust all over it and stuff. So a little background during this time, Nike had just released its infamous 2012 All-Star Pack, which consisted of the LeBron 9 Big Bang, the famous Galaxy Foamposites, KD's, Kobe's, you name it, they had it all. Nike basketball was at an all-time high, and my wallet was at an all-time low. I mean, this is considering that I was only in middle school, as some people would call it primary high, and I didn't have any sort of income, no job, nothing. So I'm at this event selling, hyper dunks, free runs. I had like a pair of Zoom Soldiers, nothing crazy. My friends, they actually had Jordans. I remember seeing like Olympic 7s and Oreo 6s and stuff like that. Cool shoes. I was obviously very young, still very inexperienced within the sneaker culture, so I wasn't really there to sell shoes particularly. I was more there to kind of understand the culture a little bit more and, learn a couple of things. So at one point of the event, I actually decide to use the bathroom, quick look around, and I see that there are already hundreds of people inside of the convention room. I'll try to find some old footage that I'm going to put around this time. As a forewarning, it is some really old footage, so it's not the best, but it's going to give you a little bit of an idea of how the shoe game really looked back in 2014. So with all those people already inside the event, I was actually really surprised that when I went outside of the room, there was already another 100 people waiting outside in line, still trying to get in. However, I think at this point they actually capped it and said, no, we're not letting any more people in. We've reached max capacity. I'm on my way to the bathroom and this shady dude comes up to me and asks, you want to check out these shoes? And I'm like, hold on, these shoes, they're not just any shoes. I look at the box and my heart skipped a beat. I looked at it and it's unmistakable. The black and white wavy box, I gotta hold my excitement back a little bit because I'm like, hold on. First off, I still gotta use the bathroom. And second of all, this guy, there's no way this guy's going in. So he's probably just trying to sell his shoes at this point. I'm pretty sure I can get a good bargain. I contained my excitement as best as I could, and I said, no thanks. I went in, did my thing, used the bathroom, whatever, took my time. And in this whole time I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, yo, this guy's got some Concord. This is not a coincidence. There has to be some sort of like God's plan kind of thing going on here. I go outside and what do you know? The guy's still there holding the Concords. The guy comes up to me and he's like, yo kid, come on bro, Like, I really need to sell these shoes. I'm just trying to get out of here. You know, yada yada. He's telling me the story. So I'm like, all right, cool. So this guy obviously still wants to sell his shoes to me. So I check him out. What do you know? It is my size. It looks good. It's a little worn. There's a little bit of creasing out on the sides. Pretty yellow on the bottom. Nothing too crazy though. The only thing I was really worried about was the back, because the back of the shoe was like really stretched out. This guy was pretty big. He was definitely bigger than me, and he wore the same size. So I was like, okay, there could be a little bit of an issue here. Best way to check out Concords or any Air Jordan 11 is to really just look at the carbon fiber. If the carbon fiber just looks really plasticky, just like really weird in design, you can pretty much bet that they're a fake pair. His pair actually looked fine. You know, the carbon fiber checked out, everything looked good. It was just the back. So he wants $80 for them. Now, mind you, $80 for any Jordan, anyone, it doesn't even matter which one, is a great steal. The Concords had just come out in 2011. This was 2014, so a couple years after. Concords are still going for a pretty penny. Eventually, I talked this guy down to the price to the point where I actually basically robbed the dude. Honestly, it was never heard of during that time, and for $40, I knew I got the steal of the century. I'm walking back at this point, smiling from ear to ear. I'm holding the shoes, you know, I'm going inside. I feel like a new man. Everybody's staring at me. They're looking at me like, yo, who is this kid with the Concords? I go to my friend's vendor table. My friends are just freaking out. They're like, yo, what? How did you find those? Like, this is crazy. Where did you disappear off to? This and that. They're asking a whole bunch of questions. And at this point, an actual crowd started to form around the table. You know, people were interested. They were over here like, yo, how much? What's the size? Let me go check them out, this and that. Eventually, an authenticator actually comes and he wants to check out the shoes. So the guy actually takes the shoe, he's checking them out, he's looking them over. I'm over here, you know, pretty confident that they're authentic. And then they're not. Like I said, bigger heel, kind of tab on the back, it was all stretched out, whatever. I felt like I had been scammed, and honestly, I was just like so sad. I couldn't even like feel anymore. I was just like, dang. And I felt pretty embarrassed myself. I couldn't even show the sneakers anymore. I was like hiding them, you know, 5 minutes ago, literally walking around confident, showing these off like a trophy. So one of my friends that actually originally asked me to split the cost, he saw what happened. Like,
yo, Sam, I really personally want to actually just buy the shoes off of you.
I knew that out of all the people out there, this was the only person that would actually appreciate this sneaker even more than I did. And I didn't even notice when another authenticator actually came, looked at it and was like, yo, your carbon fiber checks out, you're fine. I was so relieved. I was like, whew, man, I felt like a whole weight was just lifted off from my shoulders. Afterwards, I was just like, all right, I know the real now. I can actually sell them to my friend. I knew that he would actually wear them, and he actually did. He beat them to the ground. I don't know if he still has the shoes to this day, but I knew that they were going to a good home. Fast forward a couple of years, starting to make just a little bit of money, and I decided to treat myself. This is actually the second time I actually buy these shoes, buy them off locally, off some dude off Facebook Marketplace. It's a bit shady business, but most of the time, most people are genuine. It wasn't. Basically, I meet the guy, not even the same dude that was in the profile picture, and I was a little bit confused. That's already red flag number one. Red flag number two was when the guy actually delivered the shoes to me, and it was in a plastic bag. So just like any other plastic bag, like a Walmart or Target bag, I was like, huh, a little confused. This is also one of the first times I actually met somebody to buy shoes. I was a little scared. I'm not even gonna lie. You know, first couple times, not really knowing what to do. I didn't even check out the shoes. I didn't do anything. But when I got home, I took them out the plastic bag. They look pretty good, but they're the wrong size. So they're the wrong size. They didn't fit me, and
They also were fake.
thankfully I didn't spend too much on them. However, I did feel like I was scammed once again, and this time it actually was true. So I tried to make the most out of it, and I tried to wear them. They didn't fit right, instead of trying to like pawn them off or anything, I decided that I was just going to donate them. If I couldn't wear them, at least somebody else would. It's still a shoe at the end of the day, so I was just like, hey, somebody could probably pull them off better than I could. 2020, and I finally have the shoes. Already wore them a couple of times, as you can probably tell. Pro tip, do not wear your Concords to the beach. Clear soles and they will yellow. This is the actual 2018 holiday release. They released that at the end of 2018 for the holiday pack, as Jordan Brand does every year. So it does come with the higher patent leather, the 45, and it also comes with the OG style box. That release to me still means the most. I don't know, maybe it's a sentimental value or something. After 6 years, I think, yeah, right, 6 years plus buying the shoe for the 3rd time, finally have them in my hand. You know, sometimes you just have to buy a shoe 3 times in order to finally get them right. And they're still my favorites to this day. Wear them all the time. Honestly, great shoe. This was a Sam sneaker story, and I'd like to hear your own sneaker stories. Make sure to comment it down below. Make sure to like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. It's been Sam. It's been good. Peace.